For years, I lived with one question that had no mercy. Where had my son gone? His wife told everyone he had abandoned the family, but I never believed her. Then one freezing evening, while I was surviving on barely $13 a week, a silver Mercedes stopped outside the basement where I had been kept like a forgotten secret. The window rolled down. A young woman looked straight at me and whispered, "Get in, Grandpa. I know where Dad is hiding." I had not heard my son's voice in for years, but that night, I was finally going to learn why. My name is Walter Hayes, and once upon a time, my home was filled with laughter. My son Ethan was the brightest part of my life. After his mother passed away, Ethan became more than my son. He became the thread that kept my lonely world from unraveling. Then he married Marissa. At first, she seemed gentle, polite, almost too perfect, but slowly, the warmth disappeared. Marissa began telling Ethan that I was interfering in their marriage, that I was old-fashioned, that I was a burden. I tried to stay quiet. I thought silence could preserve a family. I was wrong. One evening, Ethan vanished. No goodbye, no explanation, no phone call. His belongings disappeared from the house, and every question I asked Marissa received the same cold answer. He doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. She looked strangely familiar. Her eyes carried Ethan's eyes. She walked toward me and said, "Grandpa, please don't ask questions here. Just trust me." Her name was Lena, Ethan's daughter. I had not seen her since she was a child. She helped me into the car and drove through the darkness. For almost an hour, neither of us spoke. Finally, she pulled into a quiet neighborhood and stopped outside a small house. Then she turned toward me. "Dad isn't hiding because he hates you. He's hiding because he was threatened." My heart stopped. Lena showed me a folder. Inside were old bank records, photographs, letters, and messages. Marissa had been secretly draining Ethan's business accounts. When Ethan discovered it, he confronted her. She threatened to destroy his reputation and make sure he never saw his daughter again. Ethan disappeared to protect Lena, but there was something even worse. Marissa had told me Ethan abandoned me because she knew I would never stop searching for my son. Lena had spent years quietly searching for the truth. And finally, she had found him. Ethan was alive. He was waiting in another room. When I saw my son, neither of us moved. For years of sorrow stood between us like an invisible wall. Then Ethan whispered, "Dad, I'm sorry." I walked toward him. I didn't ask why he left. I didn't ask why he stayed silent. I simply held him. Some wounds don't need explanations first. They need forgiveness. Later, Ethan confronted Marissa through the proper legal channels, and the truth finally came to light. She could no longer control the story. For years, she had convinced everyone that I was unwanted. But the truth was much simpler. I had never been unwanted. I had only been isolated from the people who loved me. That night, Lena handed me an envelope. Inside was a note from Ethan. It said, "A family can lose for years to a lie, but love can spend the rest of its life finding the way home." I folded the note carefully, because sometimes, the most precious thing a person can receive isn't money. It is the return of someone they had already mourned while they were still alive. Strong ending. I spent for years believing my son had forgotten me. In reality, he had been fighting his own battle. And the little girl I once carried in my arms became the person who carried me out of the darkness. That night taught me something I will never forget. Never judge a silence until you know who created it. And never assume someone stopped loving you simply because you stopped hearing from them. Sometimes the truth is only waiting for the right person to knock on the door.